Good morning for those of you in Europe and good afternoon for those in China. This is Romina Di Martino working at the China-Italy Chamber of Commerce, one of the implementing partners of the European Union SME Center. Today's topic is Retailing in a Trading and Manufacturing Hub, Market Trends in Guangzhou and Shenzhen. The EU SME Center is a project implemented with the financial support of the European Union, assisting SMEs to do business in China by providing a comprehensive range of hands-on information, advices, trainings, and other supporting services. The center is implemented by a consortium of 6 partners, and the CICC is one of the partners who organized the webinar. The China-Italy Chamber of Commerce is the only private Italian association recognized by the Italian government and Chinese government. Founded in Beijing in 1991 with 5 offices in mainland China, Beijing, Chongqing, Guangzhou, Shanghai and Suzhou. A constantly growing network of CICC members, more than 600 in 2016, and 10 national working groups established in the following sectors: renewable energies and environment, healthcare, manufacturing industries, services, F&B, aviation, fashion, tourism and sport. Let me introduce the speaker of today. A Milan native, Fabio Stella graduated in International Affairs, Law and Business Administration before moving to China for project courses at Peking University targeting IPR laws and FDIs in Asia. He started his career at the China-Italy Chamber of Commerce in Guangzhou and now heads up People and Projects, PMP, Guangzhou and Shenzhen, overseeing business in the PRD region. His previous assignments included the PMP Hong Kong and Shanghai. The speaker's expertise and current practice include retail strategy in China and support to trading and manufacturing companies in PRC fiscal and accounting compliance. I would like to hand over to Mr. Fabio now.
By analyzing today's agenda, we can see the 4 points in which we will articulate our slides. We will start with an introduction, giving you an overview of the PRD region. We will then pass to the digital divide and the challenges of e-commerce to the traditional retail sector, analyzing then case studies for the European SMEs, and then closing up with a conclusion of today's topic. Let's start with an introduction and an overview of the PRD region. The population of the area is 50 million people in 2016. The GDP registered in 2016 by the Hong Kong Trade and Development Council is 1.3 trillion US dollars. While checking the retail sales, we see 310 billion US dollar recorded in 2014 by the Hong Kong Trade and Development Council. The Pearl River Delta Economic Zone locates at the Pearl River estuary where the river enters the South China Sea. The zone is formed by 9 cities, namely Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Foshan, Zhuhai, Jiangmen, Zhongshan, Dongguan, 4 districts and counties of Huizhou, and 4 districts and counties of Zhaoqing. The PRD retail mostly sees 2 cities, Guangzhou and Shenzhen, as the main actors in the area. In the last decade, the PRD region battled its way towards the shift from a mainly industrial and trading hub for the local economy and FDIs to a new top location for retail and showcase of consumer goods. This evolution mostly focused on the 2 megacities of Guangzhou and Shenzhen, sidelined with the need for urbanization and the physical movement of the working class, i.e. the consumers, from residential and traditional areas to the new CBDs with offices and retail venues. Thanks to the presence of several local fashion brands and firms, Guangzhou arrived first on its new regional market, following the main national leading cities like Shanghai and Beijing. On the other side, Shenzhen, thanks to its innovative horizon, confirmed itself as the main venue in the south for the new economy of innovation and design. PRD retail and history through marketplaces. At a first glance, the recent history of foreign products retail in modern China guides us through the rapid changes that have taken the country out of its initial isolation and refusal of the outer world. Checking the milestones for retail in China, 1950, Friendship stores opened in cities with diplomatic presence, Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. In 1984, 5 years since the first FDIs, Guangzhou's Tianhe Sport Center project opened for construction. In 1990, foreign exchange certificates are banned, and new shopping malls open in the old city center, namely Dongshankou, Beijing Road, and Yushu District. 2000, the second wave of shopping mall hits Guangzhou, Tianhe District, and Shenzhen, Luohe District. 2010, new districts revealed new location in Guangzhou, namely Jiujiang New Town Sub-District, Liede and Baiyun area, and Shenzhen, Futian, Shekou, and Nanshan. While analyzing the map of Guangzhou city area, we see the eastern district of Tianhe and Jiujiang New Town, Haizhou and Panyu in the south, Yueshou, Liwan, and Baiyun in the western part. The same analysis of the map for Shenzhen locates the main districts in the southern part, namely Luohu, Futian, and Nanshan, together with Yantian Deepwater Port area, the eastern district of Pingshan and Dapeng Peninsula, together with the new northern part of Bao'an, Guangming, and Longhua, neighboring Longgan district. When analyzing PRD retail in terms of Guangzhou rents, we see that prime average retail areas list Tianhe Sport Center as top location with 1,238.8 renminbi per square meter per month against the city average for Guangzhou of 810.4 renminbi. The 12-month outlook for rents flows in 2017 also shows Tianhe Sport Center as the only positive data among other locations. Passing to Shenzhen rents chart, we see that prime average retail areas list Luohu district as top location with 1,633.33 renminbi per square meter per month against the city average for Shenzhen of roughly 900 renminbi. The 12-month outlook for rents flows show that in 2017, Luohu, Futian, and Bao'an district are the only positive data among other stable locations, namely Nanshan and Longgan district. By comparing Guangzhou and Shenzhen data in the PRD with other megacities in Greater China, we see that both Beijing and Shanghai respectively double and triple Shenzhen and Guangzhou pricing, while Hong Kong crowns itself as the most expensive retail hub in terms of rents. Hong Kong is also the only market with a positive outlook for total retail sales in 2017. By analyzing the historical data for Guangzhou revenues and stock in the retail sector, we can see that the peak in the retail sales growth of January 2011 is also matching a peak in the shopping mall supply and stock in the same period for 2011. When we pass to the analysis of Shenzhen revenues and stock, we can see that retail sales reached their peak in the last part of 2016 and the first part of 2017, and the growth for shopping mall supply and stock for 2017 is also forecasted at its peak. A general market analysis for Guangzhou retail sector shows that Tianhe Road and Tianhe Sport Center maintain their position as Guangzhou's prime retail area, achieving the highest first-floor rents. Additionally, emerging areas and new districts are experiencing a rapid development through a series of innovative practices and audience-attracting strategies. 5 new projects are expected to launch in the next 3 quarters, with 72% of new supply located in emerging areas. These emerging areas will account for 62% of total new supply by 2019, 6% higher than current levels. In the first 2 months of 2017, aggregate retail sales total renminbi 148.54 billion, with a year-to-date growth of 9.3%, 0.9 higher year-on-year. The same analysis for Shenzhen market shows us that Luohu, Futian, and Nanshan district maintain their position as Shenzhen's prime retail destination, achieving the highest first-floor rents. Retail sales total renminbi 89.19 billion in January and February 2017, up 8.1% year-on-year. 50 new high-end shopping malls are expected to launch in the rest of 2017, 55% of new stock being added to non-central areas, adding an unprecedented 1.8 million square meters to the market. With many more shopping malls opening business in secondary districts, more consumers are expected to stay locally and shop in their own area rather than going to other cities, districts, or Hong Kong. When checking Guangzhou representative mall for PRD retail, we find Taikoo Hui, With a total floor area of approximately 138,000 square meters, the mall at Taikoo Hui, located in Tianhe district, is home to over 180 brands, including international acclaimed brands, lifestyle boutiques, more than 70 of which are making their debut in Guangzhou. Several acclaimed brands set up their flagship stores at Taikoo Hui. On the lifestyle front, Olé, a high-end supermarket, is making its first appearance in Guangzhou as the city's premium outlet for all culinary and lifestyle needs, showcasing a whole set of imported F&B products from overseas. The same analysis for Shenzhen tells us that the representative mall is located in the city center of the city. Futian Coco Park is not only a popular shopping mall, but also representative of the area. The mall has 5 levels, covering 85,000 square meters, with a big outdoor square in the center for recreational activities and events open to the city's community. Coco Park holds 5 major shopping sections: fashion, sports and digital, lifestyle and household, with 200 among local and international fashion brands. Coco Park also offers a busy bar street with a number of venues that have both indoor and outdoor areas, an on-con cinema, and 2 big playgrounds for kids. The mall's commitment to influence shoppers and visitors is mainly conveyed through its public areas. Let's now analyze the second chapter of this presentation that tells us about the digital divide between e-commerce and the traditional retail sector. In the image below the title, you can see the retail trends for retail commerce sales, the percentage of change, and the total retail sales for the traditional retail sector. We can see that the peak of 2018 will be reached soon with a slower growth rate, but of course higher data in total revenues. When analyzing the e-commerce user's position versus the retail main locations that we saw before for PID, we also see that even though the main area is still located in first-tier cities that make up for 1/4 of the market, around 25%, second-tier, third-tier, and fourth-tier cities locates in around 3/4 of the total market for e-commerce sales. After years of monopoly in terms of venues for retail and high passage and volumes, real estate developers are now facing digital competition given the online platforms' far-reaching logistics arms involving second, third, and fourth-tier cities in China. This classification actually groups cities smaller than the most famous Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, but with an account for population and consumption that reaches more than 10 times the one of the 4 biggest megacities. If e-commerce only needs internet access and logistic routes, traditional retail is still linked to the development of residential and shopping areas, together with the strategy of the actors in the business to showcase their product. What are the challenges to traditional retail brought by e-commerce on the market? Well, between 2015 and 2016, while offline sales increased by 7.10%, online sales have increased by a dramatic 35%. E-commerce still remains the most cost-effective means to reach growing consumers located in second, third, and fourth-tier cities, which make up for still over or around 1 million people. More and more products will be brought online in the future. Physical stores just hold their flagship hubs to showcase and harness branding knowledge and awareness. In this perspective, the uniqueness of experience is a powerful and precious tool to stand out from the mass of the retailers and hold on in a period of transition. So what is a balanced strategy for China? Whomever sees e-commerce as the end to traditional brick-and-mortar shops might be running to conclusions way too fast. The ultimate retail strategy for fast-evolving market should in fact contain the right blend of online and offline presence thanks to a powerful branding and a strong storytelling. We can see that the same store can be posted in Tmall.com, in a main area of Shanghai, and also on the WeChat official store. We now analyze a case of online and offline success, namely Uniqlo. A particular case is the one of Uniqlo. The Japanese retailer opened its second Chinese flagship store in China in Guangzhou with a total area of 5,000 square meters. The shop doesn't only provide special collections advertised on the official WeChat account, but also offers you an art gallery with the ultimate collection of customized t-shirts launched by the brand from 2014 up to now. The most curious features, however, is related to the website uniqlo.cn, that by showing a purchasing section, it automatically forwards online users to the Tmall store whenever they try to click and order the product they selected. We can see in the images below the Tmall.com store of Uniqlo, their flagship store in Guangzhou Tianhe Sport area, and the WeChat store that on WeChat users can follow. Let's now pass to the third part of our presentation by analyzing case studies for the European SMEs. The first case study of today tells us about a notebooks brand retailer coming from Europe. The winning strategy consists in applying a strong branding while facing a fierce market of cheaper competitors. Passing from local distributors to direct multi-channel retail, they opened more than 20 shops in less than 5 years. The PRD came in as a new focus with Guangzhou and Shenzhen openings, and they symbolize a link with local culture and initiatives. The second case shows that second-tier fashion brands in PRD are mostly using different strategies, passing from local M&As to access the Chinese market to choosing local sole distributors instead of direct retail. The new products on the market go from a never-seen-in-China approach to a 90s revival of old glories in the sector. Local influence is mainly conveyed through famous influencers and online initiatives that grant a link between traditional Chinese lifestyle and worldwide fashion brands. The last case study is referred to another sector in fierce competition, that is to say cosmetics. Hong Kong comes here as an initial showcase stage for mainland consumers and tourists, given the adverse PRC policies in terms of consumption tax and duties. Tourism becomes a sales weapon for the future, and the operators in the sector are applying a wait-and-see attitude. Let's conclude now the PRD retail examples for European SMEs with a business survey we conducted for this presentation. Out of a sample counting 20 cases of foreign SMEs involved in China's retail sector, less than 20% chose Guangzhou and Shenzhen over Beijing and Shanghai for the first two shops openings in PRC. Among the reasons for their choices, foreign brands that chose the PRD as prime destination simply follow the local distributor's input or headquarter presence, for example, Mi60 and Energy in Guangzhou. Hong Kong and Macau are still too close and too powerful as retail venues destination. The PRD still has to build its reputation as a whole in terms of tourism attraction, links in the region, and a focus on the retail sector. Differently from Beijing and Shanghai, the local super-rich and high-end middle class is still more focused on generational investments than fashion trends and foreign lifestyle. Let's close now today's presentation by adding up some conclusions. Given the recent development of the retail sector in the PRD, foreign enterprises, especially if limited in size and capital, should test their local strategy by using temporary and cost-efficient solutions, merely through cross-border e-commerce to test the market beforehand, pop-up stores initiatives in malls and public areas, retail festivals focused on their home country, marketing initiatives through local actors, chambers of commerce, retailers, and institutions.
This is the end of our presentation today. Thank you very much for your participation. I would like to remind you that there are still more webinars to come in the near future, so stay tuned. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you again for watching and have a nice day.